my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure?
What's going on, fellow Illuminators and Titan Nation? Well, back in. I'm Lorcana Thanos, the Mad Titan of the Illuminary. And you all know what we're here to talk about today. So, the Disney Lorcana team released a post earlier today about some emergency bans that were taking place. Obviously, those being Hiram Flaversham Toy Maker and Fortisphere. Yeah, Fortisphere. We'll talk about that. So what I wanted to do today is we're going to go through the official statement from the Disney Lorcana team, and then we will dive into my thoughts and how I would have addressed those. So let's read the post and dive right on in. All right, so here we are on the official Disney Lorcana website, and we're going to go under the upgrade to core constructed format. And I will put the link in the description down below for the show notes. So obviously you guys know about the bans. So it just says that the ban is in effect as of April 8th, 2025. Meaning all Disney Lorcana events taking place after that date will no longer accept deck lists that includes those cards. So the first comment here is, but in order to keep the metagame healthy and challenging without it feeling stale or repetitive, seeing the game strategies again and again, the TCG design team at Ravensburger made the difficult decision for the good of the game. We know bans are the last line of defense, and we will only pull the lever, crunk, when it will increase excitement for competitive play. Again, as I'm going to say later in the video, where was that with Bucky, with Diablo, with how Ruby Sapphire has been since the CCU Empowered cards have come out? So yeah, I don't know. Let's see. So note, Hiram Flaversham, Toy Maker, and Fortisphere are not removed from the game. Players are encouraged to enjoy them and their decks against friends and family. The ban only affects those participating in Disney Lorcana Challenge events. When are those, Ravensburger? Or other tournaments, i.e. win worlds in events using the core constructed format. So, i.e. right now, set champs. I love how they say you can't use it in official events, but it's okay, you know, if you want to smack your friends around with it, that's fine. Who needs family? So then, where was it? Yeah, this comment right here. However, we believe it is necessary to preserve the overall enjoyment and balance of the game. Again, there's things that could have been done in earlier formats. Kind of would have fixed some stuff, because this isn't the first time that this has happened. So, yeah. I don't really want to read any more of this. Hey there, so real quick, if you're enjoying the content, if you could do me a massive favor, be sure to like, subscribe, and click that bell so you get notified of when I upload new videos every Tuesday and Friday. And let me know down below what you think of the video. All right, back to the video. All right, so now that we've read that, let's talk. So I have been debating for quite some time about doing two different videos. The first being, if I decide a ban list for this game, what would it look like? And the second being that instead of bans, I think Disney Lorcana needs to follow rotation. And the way that I would have gone about doing rotation for Disney Lorcana is the sets seem to be designed and written from a story perspective in a 4-set block. So, say at the start of set 9, Fabled, upon release for your hobby store, your friendly local game store, I would have said that cards in the first chapter, Rise of the Floodborn, Into the Inklings, and Ursula's Return are all gone. They are not to be, they're not allowed to be used in official Disney Lorcana events going forward, unless they get reprinted in future products. And a lot of the single player decks do seem to reprint stuff. They could always make like a new gateway product or a new side product. Say the brand new Illuminator's Quest Palace Heist for Reign of Jafar that's coming out. We could have had some older cards get reprinted in that. And then typically in that situation, that's when those older cards are illegal. But since we've gone the route of erratas, first with the squirrel, Bucky, So I know that they wanted to restrict how many erratas they go to. And as someone who has played a lot of Bandai card games, please don't do that. Erratas are very, very hard to keep up with, especially when you're in the know. New players are not going to understand whatsoever. They're going to be like, well, this character has a cost of 2, but he was errata to have a cost of 3 in Bucky's situation, right? So I think staying away from erratas as much as possible is the right call. However, they don't seem to be following a rotation since they have done these emergency bans. Sapphire players, I know that you consider Hiram your draw engine, and I completely understand. I personally agree with the ban. The thing with Hiram is, yes, I understand that you view him as your draw engine, which, of course, by extension, he is. But it was either you ban him or you errata him. And the way you errata him is you just fix the stats, and that's all you have to do. Hiram is way too powerful for what he does. And I think he should be have 4 willpower or 5 willpower. That way, you have a easier chance of getting rid of him, and even, of course, using cards like "And Then Along Came Zeus" to deal that 5 damage, and then banish the Hiram. That 6 is he's very overstated for what he does. Of course, he's inkable. Fortisphere, I do not agree with whatsoever. Steel needs draw cards. As a Steel main, I can tell you that Steel needs draw cards. Yes, we have a whole new world, but that's non-inkable. Sometimes the bodyguard aspect of Fortisphere does come up, but the primary reason why you run it, obviously, is to use it as a cantrip, and Steel needs that love. Because a lot of the other, especially a lot of the 1 ink cost cards, they all make you discard after you draw. So Fortisphere is just a really good card for Steel. I don't buy their reason for Popsicle at all. It should have been Popsicle. If we're going to go into it, it should have been Popsicle. That card is so much more oppressive compared to Fortisphere, in my personal opinion. To be quite honest with you guys, why didn't they see this coming? I talked about Sapphire with the during reveal season for Arcasia's Island, and in those discussions when we read previews, especially when we got to Tamatoa, Happy as a Claim, once I saw free on that card, I knew we were in for a problem. In just reading through Sapphire, if you look at its progression from Shimmering Skies, especially into Azurite Sea, and then of course by extension where we are now with Arcasia's Island, you saw it coming. You saw the power creep level, the overall power level rising, and you saw it coming. And once Bell came out, it was game over. Clearly, because the other thing I talked about was we were clearly heading into a tier 0 meta. Sapphire players, I've never been out to get you. You guys have been down for a long time, and you finally have seen some success. Ruby Sapphire has been a thing for quite some time, but obviously the Sapphire Steel element, Bell makes a lot of that work. Obviously, having 4 more draw cards that you can get rid of with Hiram, with the Fortisphere. Again, I get it. At the same time, though, if it was me personally, I would have hit Popsicle. That being said, also in their post, they talked about for the health of the game. Sorry to use air quotes, but Ravensburger and Disney Lorcana team, I've heard Bandai use that for a long time when they do their list, and I don't buy it. If you were worried about the health of the game, you would have hit stuff like B-Prep. You would have hit Goat. You would have hit, I don't know, when a whole new world. You would have dealt with Bucky sooner. You would have dealt with Diablo. Merlin Goat would have been addressed. There's other cards in this game that need to be addressed but haven't been, and so you can't really say this is for the overall health of the game when you're now in yet another tier 0 metagame. So it kind of seems like either there's not proper playtesting going on, or the deck designing, the designing for the sets just isn't quite there. And I'm hoping going forward with Reign of Jafar and Fabled and what's ever beyond that you guys do power creep. One, gradually. We don't need insane amount of power creep like other TCGs have, especially one that is in the big three. And we just need to make sure that everyone is rising at a equal footing. Because, for example, I would say that Amber needs a lot of love. Amber doesn't feel as good of an ink to play right now compared to especially Sapphire and Steel. But I think like there's a lot of other inks that need love, that need attention. And so I know sometimes like you guys are like, we'll just ride the wave because next set there's stuff that deals with it. But then by that point, it's too little too late because there's something else in the following set that takes precedent over whatever that current issue was, right? So it doesn't seem like we're really going the rotation route. So if we are going into a forbidden, semi-limit, ban list type format, I hope that you guys really sit down, look at this, and keep your set design and power creep in mind. That's going to do it for today's video. Be sure to give me one of these. It's super impactful and helping this video find other Illuminaires such as yourself. If you like the Lorcana content here on the channel and you want to see more, tighten smash that subscribe button and click that bell so you get notified of when I upload new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Also, be sure to let me know down below what you thought of this video, and you can follow me on the artist formerly known as Twitter on X at LorcanaThanos, and I'm on Blue Sky as well at LorcanaThanos. Thanks for watching, and I think you might enjoy these. And remember, the hardest choices require the strongest wills.